what would you say you prepped, or how did you prep Ryan for this trip?
Prepping Ryan was really like prepping myself, but I'm a list maker. I made a list of like everything that we use with him on a daily basis that I would need to like pack for him. Things
Okay.
that you don't necessarily think of like, oh, I need to pack this for a trip, but like saline spray. That boy needs saline spray like every other night. So making lists was super important because I didn't know how to pack for an infant. Like I know how to
Yeah.
pack for myself, but packing all of the
What
things for a baby is a lot.
what are things now that we're talking about packing for the baby? What are things that new moms going to Disney with their infant that you are like, yes, you definitely need to make sure you bring that with you?
Stroller fan. Stroller fan
Yeah,
without
he
a
really did
doubt.
like that stroller fan.
Oh my gosh, that thing was a lifesaver. And I know they sell like the big Mickey hand one in the park,
Nah,
and
not
Yeah.
necessary.
I don't have
No.
any experience with that, but the stroller fan that we bought just off Amazon was just easy to attach to anything. We had it on his car
Mhm.
seat on the way down. The stroller fan was absolutely must have. Um, Diaper bag, just something to help organize your diaper bag so that you can grab something quickly and you can tell someone else where to grab something easily.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of times
Yeah.
that like I knew where things were in my diaper bag, but it was mom or brother or whoever grabbing out of the diaper bag. I'm like, get a burp cloth from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab wipes from this pocket on this side.
Yeah. Was there anything that you put in your bag, like when you went to the parks, that you were like, you thought you were going to need, but turned out, nah, that's not something, like if you doing this again, you probably wouldn't take these items into the parks at least?
Yeah. What was a little much?
I had packed like the headphones for him to watch fireworks, and he's just too young that we didn't stay in the park for fireworks. So after the first couple days when I realized we're really not staying for like these loud shows that he needs
Yeah.
ear protection for, I took those out.
Okay.
Obviously, if we were staying for fireworks, it would have been
Right.
necessary. But just for our itinerary, we didn't need that.
That's fair.
Okay.
You guys stayed over at Fort Wilderness, or excuse me, Wilderness
Copper
Lodge.
Creek,
Wilderness
Wilderness
Lodge.
Lodge.
Yeah,
Creek.
Copper
Mhm.
Creek.
Okay. What kind of DVC accommodation did y'all get for this trip?
So we were in a 2-bedroom with my
Okay.
parents. We were on the studio side, and then my brother and sister-in-law were in a studio.
Okay.
So we were in a 2-bedroom lock-off.
All right. That's
But we were very fortunate. We were in a corner room, so basically on the studio side, it was like we got a 1-bedroom.
Oh, nice.
So we had like when you walked in, there was like the little kitchenette area and then a living room area with a TV, and that was where we put the pack and play for Ryan. And then the bed where David and I were was like off in a corner, like a separate room, and we had 2 TVs. So it really felt like we got a larger accommodation than we were supposed to.
Where the fuck was this when we stayed there?
I know, right? You just need to stay in Copper Creek next time.
I mean, are we listening, Disney? The next time, I'm just saying, Wilderness Lodge GM, hear us out, Okay, so staying at Wilderness Lodge, how would you rate that in terms of resorts that you've stayed at that would have been baby friendly? Like, was this the top of the list to you?
It was pretty high up there.
Okay.
The only accommodation that we had tried to switch to Bay Lake, and there just wasn't availability for the accommodations that we needed. Bay Lake obviously would have been convenient to walk into Magic Kingdom, which was where we spent most of our time this trip.
Yeah, I
would have been really convenient to get on the monorail. The big thing that I was thinking of in terms of accommodations was convenience to getting to the parks. And how much do I have to do with the stroller to get to the parks?
Fair.
Well,
fair.
Then let's go ahead and ask the anti-bus question. How much of a pain in the ass was it to do the buses to the parks?
We avoided the bus as much as we could. To Animal Kingdom, what did we do to Animal Kingdom? We were going to take the bus to to Animal Kingdom, but we had a breakfast reservation and the bus was going to be super slow. So we made a last minute decision. We're driving.
Fair
So didn't
enough.
do the bus to Animal Kingdom. Did the boat
That's
to
not a terrible
Magic.
park.
Yeah.
Did I
What
see
did we do?
him ride a tram, by the way? Did you guys just like go out into the parking
No.
lot to
No. We
Okay.
did not ride a tram.
I could have sworn I saw a picture of him on the tram, but whatever.
I don't know what you saw. Not the tram. No, we did ride the bus. I think we rode the bus to Epcot. And we purposely chose non-peak times to ride the bus. Like the day we went into Epcot, we went in closer to lunchtime. So like 10, 11.
Okay.
So getting on the bus was no problem. Didn't have to like deal with folding up the stroller with a million people and navigating all of that. And then when we left, it looked like the bus was getting really full and then it was standing room only. And we probably could have fit on that bus, but we purposely just kind of held back and we're like, no, we're going to wait for the next bus because I just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah,
I get that. Which would you say was the easiest mode of transportation then for you?
Boat, depending on what kind of boat was coming. You know, like the friendship boats, you don't have to fold up the stroller. Those other tiny boats, you have to fold up the stroller and you have to sit in a certain part of the boat with the stroller. So like if somebody else was already there, it was kind of awkward because the cast members will tell you go sit in the back and keep your stroller here.
So you're talking about like the frenemy boats that go from the resort to Magic Kingdom?
Yes.
Well, if the other ones are friendship boats, I'm just,
Oh God.
Does that not track? I feel like that tracks, right?
No,
I guess so.
It makes sense.
You hate
I'm mad that it makes sense.
Yep.
Mad that it makes sense, but it makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. What other? Since you've stayed at a lot of the resorts that are out there, is there a different resort that you are thinking might have been easier or that may have been kind of close in terms of accessibility for you?
I mean, other than Bay Lake, I would have loved Bay Lake, but I have a soft spot for Copper Creek and Wilderness Lodge. Like, I'm really glad that we couldn't get into Bay Lake because that was just like, okay, this is magical for Ryan's first trip. This is one of my favorite Disney memories. But Bay Lake definitely would have been very convenient.
Fair enough.
I think when he's older, like the Epcot resorts would be super convenient. And that's where I prefer to stay if it's a Disney adults trip. But as far as like where we are, absolutely the Magic Kingdom resorts are the way to go.
Speaking of the resort, because I know that y'all would go back, because he obviously needed naps. It is really hot down here now. Y'all went back to the resort. Did y'all do anything like around the resort with him, or did y'all just like hang out in the room when you would go back? Like, did you go to the pool?
For the most part, we would hang out. For the most part, we hung out in the room. He's too young to like really enjoy the pool and splash pad and all of that. And to be honest, it was so hot that I didn't want to mess with swimsuits and sunscreen and all of that for him. We did go down to like Roaring Fork and we ate down there like by the pool area ish. Okay. But we didn't do a whole lot of resort things. There was one night that Ryan had fallen asleep in the park and I think he had actually fallen asleep in my arms, not even in the stroller. And so I'm like walking back from the boat, holding him like this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to take a break now. And so we stopped in the rocking chairs in the lobby just so I could I could rest. Then we walked to the elevator and back up to the room. But I was like, okay, this is my rest stop.
I mean, he also fell asleep in your arms at Crystal Palace too. So
yes. The boy learned to fall asleep in a lot of different places.
Okay. So that's kind of another question that it's a weird question. I know, I'm sure, but did you prep him with like sensory stuff? I know that you love Disney YouTube and stuff like that. Did you like do ride through videos or any of that kind of stuff? Did you acclimate him to the sounds of the park or anything?
No, I mean, like we watched Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. So
Okay.
he knew Mickey. And he
I
has
think
like
your
his Mickey
mom.
Mouse plush.
I think your mom told me. I think like when she was watching him, she did like a few of those types of videos with him.
Yeah. But he's like he doesn't understand what he's watching enough for
Oh,
that to
no.
like have affected anything.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I think that raising them young is a thing. So it wouldn't shock me if
you know,
some
I
of that
listened to
rub was
Disney
off.
YouTube. Like that was my maternity leave. Was just
Oh,
Disney
then
videos
he's
on in the
been
background. So
inundated
I
with
mean,
it.
he's had that
Yeah.
exposure.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all he did. Okay, he's fine.
Was there
He's fine.
Oh
any?
yeah.
I don't know how you would have done this, but was there any prep for the character, like meeting the characters? Again, I don't know how
Other
you would
than
have
his
done
Mickey
it. But
plush, no.
yeah. Okay. So
And
he
that
just
was
saw a
one of those
bigger version of
things
his
that
fish.
yeah. And I knew that at his age that like he can start getting stranger anxiety, and I was prepared that meeting characters may not go well, and he did great.
He
The
did
only time
great.
he got
Yeah.
fussy with characters was really just like he was fussy about something else and he was just like ready
Yeah.
to be out of that situation, but he
Yeah.
didn't ever have any like negative reaction to a character.
Yeah.
That's
From what
good
we
to
saw at
know.
Crystal Palace, he didn't.
hmm
Yeah.
No, he
It's
smiled
great,
every
especially
time.
with Tigger.
Best part.
Especially with Tigger.
Yeah. At them. And I mean, like he has plushes that like he plays with his rhino plush that you guys got him. So like
It's his namesake.
he knows
So.
the format.
All right. So being a mom is awesome. I take it when it comes
Yeah.
to like all these magical moments and everything like that, right? But if life has taught me anything, life is nothing but a series of trade-offs. Nothing's like 100% perfect. And I have to imagine there was a meltdown or two with Ryan. Was that the case? How could you mitigate it, or did you just kind of know exactly what to do ahead of time to cut it off?
Oh, I did not know exactly what to do all the time. For sure. No. The heat really got to him by the end of the trip. The hardest parts with like where Ryan is developmentally is like he wants independence, but he doesn't have the mobility to be independent. So he was in the stroller or in a high chair or being held a lot, and he's starting to learn how to crawl. So he didn't have like the amount of time that he could do that while on a vacation in a hotel room in a theme park. So like, you could tell he was getting frustrated because he wanted to like get down, move around more than he could. So those were like some of the meltdowns was just like he was sick of being contained. Whereas a child
Yeah.
that's older can do a little more. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, but that
Yeah,
also means that they can run away from you and run into
Which is
Yeah,
its own
Bobby.
challenge.
Yeah, Bobby.
Yeah, I would know nothing about that.
That's a story for another time.
Oft-told story, as it turns out, on this channel. But were there any attractions that he reacted kind of poorly to, or for that matter, were there any that he reacted super positively to? I suppose too.
Ooh. He loved Figment. Like loved
Ooh,
Figment.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he did get sick of like he liked Muppets. He liked being in Muppets. I think we did the Vacation Fun shorts in Hollywood Studios,
Okay.
and he was kind of over it by the end of that. And he, what else did we do? We did PhilharMagic, which he liked surprisingly because you know he can't see the 3D, and like even though I attempted to do 3D glasses for him, he just tried to eat them.
He could probably sense his cousin Uncle Bobby's efforts inside of that theater. So you know, he felt it.
Oh,
But no, there weren't any attractions that were like set him off or anything.
Interesting.
well,
Okay.
that's
Was
good.
there ones?
Yeah.
Good.
Was there any that he was just like super excited about while he was on them?
And honestly, the most excited he was for Festival of the Lion King.
There you go. That's okay.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that you were going to say the Mexican boat ride, but you know, I
No,
don't know
he was
why. I feel
asleep
like
when the family did that. So we met Donald instead.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
A lot of things on a vacation with a 7-month-old are determined by if he's sleeping or not.
I was just impressed because we watched the Parade of Magic Kingdom with y'all,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like right there at the front,
Mm-hmm.
and he slept through that whole loud fire breathing dragon parade.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fire breathing happened right, like almost right in front of us, and he was completely slept through it. It was when y'all went to go ride Big Thunder, and we took them, like, by the time we got over to where we were with him, that shady area, he was awake at that point.
And it's funny because, like, he's an okay sleeper. I mean, recovering from vacation, not a good sleeper at all, but it's not like before we had gone to Disney that I would have told you, oh yeah, he's gonna be able to sleep in the parks. Like, I'm not worried about it. I really didn't know if he was going to nap in his stroller at all, but he impressed me a lot.
And how was that, like, because I know that there were a couple of times you made comments about how, this is way past, like we're out way past his normal bedtime. How has this kind of like messed with him since y'all got back?
He's all over the place right now. We're recovering. I mean, today is the first day that I'm like, okay, we're close to back to normal, and we came back on Sunday, so we've been back for like 4 or 5 days now.
Yeah.
So it's been an adjustment because at Disney he was just like taking little 20-minute, 30-minute naps here and there. Like, I couldn't tell you the number of naps he took on any given day at Disney. Yeah. Whereas at home, I can tell you every single day, he had 2 naps today. He had 3 naps today. And I can plan it out. Disney, it's like, I'm not even going to try to keep you on a schedule. Whenever, wherever you fall asleep, do it.
Was there any parks that were more friendly to that type of quiet environment than others?
All of the baby care centers have like a quiet nursing room. Okay. And like, I'm not nursing, but I took him into the nursing room at one point, like when I was giving him his bottle, because he was just so distracted and overstimulated. I think any of the baby care centers were good for that.
Okay. So the reason why I'm asking is I remember going over to Innovations West Innovations West, where before they kind of started using it more as a character meet and greet area, and they didn't really have anything over in that building from Innovations anyway. So that was just kind of like the mom hangout center. It felt like, and I wasn't sure if there was something similar to that now, because I don't know. Has that
I had kind of like
other crematorium opened up?
I would say, like, I've looked at other like quiet places throughout the parks. Like, I kind of knew in any park besides the baby care center, like where I could have gone. Storybook Circus has that great little charging area, right by Pete's Silly Sideshow. That area we went to multiple times. In Epcot, in the Land Pavilion was
Had
great.
you stepped foot inside of Storybook Circus before going with Ryan?
I think I had at one point.
I couldn't tell you the last time I was over there.
I think normally,
I've gone over there. I don't think I've gone over there since they have completed it. Like, I was over there like right after like Dumbo like moved over there. I've been in the gift shop over there, but I don't think I've been over there since it was like done.
I went over there really. Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's okay. Go ahead.
I had been over there more like I went to the parks twice when I was pregnant, and there are a lot of similarities between pregnancy in the parks and having a baby in the parks. And so I like spent more time in Storybook Circus and Fantasyland and like all of that when I was pregnant than I would have before. So like, yeah, I had done Dumbo last year.
Yeah.
Could not imagine. I really could.
If you're enjoying this content, you're in luck. Cynics on Disney podcast recorded a full episode with Ashley, which you can watch right here.